Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair, only to feel like your legs just don't want to move the way they used to? Maybe it takes you a second to catch your balance, or your knees feel stiff like old hinges. It sneaks up on us, doesn't it? One day, you're walking around the grocery store just fine, and the next, you're holding onto the cart just to keep steady. And while most people brush that off as just getting older, there's something far more serious going on beneath the surface. What if I told you that your legs might be trying to warn you about something? Something deeper. You see, after the age of 65, our lower body health, especially our legs, becomes a kind of early warning system for our overall health and even our longevity. Many doctors are starting to say, death starts in the legs, and it's not just a scary phrase, it's the truth we've been ignoring for too long. When you think about independence, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most of us, it's the ability to get up and go, walk to the kitchen, take a stroll outside, or even just get out of bed without needing help. That all starts with your legs. They're not just for moving, they pump blood, support your entire frame, and keep you balanced and upright. So when they begin to weaken, slow down, or hurt, it's not just a leg problem. It's a whole body problem. Let's talk about the first hidden sign no one talks about, your walking speed. Now, this one might sound strange, but researchers have actually found that how fast or slow you walk can predict your lifespan better than your blood pressure, your weight, or even your medical history. Isn't that wild? You see, walking speed reflects much more than how athletic you are. It's a measure of how well your heart, lungs, muscles, and nervous system are working together. If your walking speed has slowed significantly, say you used to keep up with others but now you're always falling behind, it could be a sign that your body systems are beginning to decline. Not just your legs, but your entire internal machinery is moving slower. Now, the good news? You can change this. You don't have to train like an athlete or jog 5 miles a day. It starts with simple, consistent walking. Even just 10 minutes a day, done regularly, can wake up those leg muscles and send a message to your heart and brain that you're still active, still moving, still living. The key is consistency. Walk like your life depends on it, because, in a way, it does. Now let's move to the second sign, one that's often brushed off or misunderstood: frequent leg cramps or nighttime leg pain. If you've ever had that sudden tightness in your calf in the middle of the night that makes you shoot out of bed, you know what I'm talking about. But here's what many don't realize: that pain might not be from dehydration or just old age. It can actually be a sign of something called poor circulation, when your blood isn't flowing as freely through your legs as it should. Poor circulation often means your arteries are narrowing, which can affect your heart, your brain, and your entire body. And what's scary is that it starts quietly, in the legs, before it shows up in other places. That cramping might be your body's way of saying, "Hey, I'm not getting enough blood down here." Now don't panic, because once again, small changes can make a huge difference. Start by stretching your legs every day, especially before bed. Point your toes, roll your ankles, gently pull your toes toward you, nothing fancy. If you sit for long periods, stand up every hour and move around for just 2 to 3 minutes. And make sure you're drinking water. Dehydration makes everything worse. Your blood gets thicker, your muscles get tighter, and the cramps come back with a vengeance. I'll tell you a quick story. A man I once met at a senior center, Jack, he's 78. He told me he used to get awful leg cramps every single night. He tried pills, creams, nothing worked. Then someone told him to try a short evening walk after dinner and to stretch his calves before bed. Within 2 weeks, the cramps were gone. Not reduced, gone. And he's been doing it every night since. Simple. Gentle. Life-changing. And here's the thing, none of this is about vanity. It's not about getting six-pack abs or running a marathon. It's about holding on to the ability to live on your terms. Your legs are your independence. They're what help you get dressed, get to the bathroom, go out with friends, or enjoy your garden. When your legs go, your world starts to shrink. But it doesn't have to. There's one more sign that many people miss, and it's a big one, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now, let's talk about one of the most ignored, yet most telling signs: trouble getting up from a chair without using your hands. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But give it a try right now, if you're able. Sit in a regular chair and see if you can rise up to standing without pushing off with your hands or leaning heavily forward. If that's difficult, or if you find yourself pausing halfway up, it could be your body telling you something important. This little movement, which we take for granted most of our lives, actually requires strength from your thighs, your core, your hips, and your balance system. And when you lose that strength or stability, it doesn't just make it harder to get out of a chair, it increases your risk of falling. And for older adults, a fall isn't just a fall. A fall can lead to fractures, hospital stays, and a loss of independence that's very hard to get back. What's worse is that many people don't even notice how much they're relying on their hands or how often they hesitate before standing. But your body does. Every time you skip using your legs fully, those muscles shrink just a little. It's like any tool you stop using, it begins to rust. But here's the beauty of it: you can train your body at any age. You can rebuild strength, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. It doesn't take hours at the gym or expensive equipment. In fact, one of the best things you can do is practice what's called the sit-to-stand movement, intentionally, every day. Here's what I tell my friends who are just getting started: pick a firm, safe chair, and once a day, try to sit and stand 5 to 10 times in a row without using your hands. If you need support at first, that's okay. But work your way toward doing it with only your legs. That one movement, practiced daily, can make a massive difference in your strength and confidence. Let me tell you about Maria. She's 83, lives alone, and used to be terrified of falling. Her daughter bought her one of those lift chairs, the ones that stand you up, but Maria didn't like feeling dependent on it. So, she started doing 5 sit-to-stands every morning, right after brushing her teeth. It took effort, and it was hard at first. But within 6 weeks, she no longer needed the lift chair. And now? She jokes that her legs are stronger than her grandkids. Now you might be thinking, well, I've never been particularly strong to begin with, or my knees just aren't what they used to be. And that's okay. This isn't about comparison, it's about momentum. One small action today leads to another tomorrow. And if you keep building from there, you create a foundation that supports not just your body, but your freedom to live how you want to live. Now, there's something else I want to bring up. It's not exactly physical, but it affects your legs in a big way, and that's fear of movement. That's right, fear. After a certain age, we start hearing warnings from all directions: don't overdo it, be careful, you might fall. And while it's true we need to be cautious, we also need to stay brave. The more afraid you are of using your legs, the less you will use them. The less you use them, the weaker they become. And then the fear becomes reality, not because your body failed you, but because you stopped trusting it. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall down a dozen times a day, but they always get back up. Why? Because they haven't been taught to fear movement yet. Somewhere along the line, we get older, and that courage fades. But the truth is, you are still capable. You are still strong. You just have to reconnect with that part of you that believes it. So if you've been skipping walks, or avoiding the stairs, or hesitating to go outside because you're worried you might trip or get tired, this is your sign to start small, but start again. Take the stairs one step at a time, walk to your mailbox and back, stand while brushing your teeth, just keep those legs in motion. I met a gentleman once, Mr. Frank, 91 years old, who told me, the day I stop walking is the day they carry me out. And he meant it. Every morning, rain or shine, he walks up and down his street with a cane in one hand and a dog leash in the other. He doesn't move fast. He doesn't move far. But he moves. And that's the secret. So if your legs have been feeling heavy, stiff, or unreliable, it's not the end, it's your wake-up call. They're asking you to notice them, to care for them, to keep them alive. Because your legs aren't just your legs. They are your lifeline. They take you to your friends, your garden, your kitchen, your memories, and your dreams. And if there's one message I hope you carry from this moment forward, it's this: you still have the power to strengthen your future, one step, one stretch, one stand at a time. There's one last sign we need to talk about, and it might surprise you, not because it's dramatic, but because it happens so slowly, many people barely notice it. It's when you start taking shorter steps. You know what I mean. Maybe you used to stride across the room without thinking, but now, you shuffle just a little. Or you notice your feet don't lift quite as high. Or maybe you turn a bit sideways when stepping down a curb. It might seem like nothing, just a getting older's thing. But those shorter, hesitant steps often signal something deeper, a loss of neuromuscular connection. In simple terms, it means your brain and legs aren't talking as clearly as they used to. Now, that doesn't mean something is seriously wrong. It just means your body is adapting to weakness, stiffness, or fear. But when your steps get shorter, your world does too. You move less, you explore less, and you start avoiding places you once loved because they suddenly feel too far or too tiring. That's how independence begins to shrink, not in one big moment, but in a dozen tiny ones you barely notice. But here's the powerful truth: you can reverse that trend. You can train your brain and body to reconnect, to move with more confidence, and to trust each step again. And it starts with one incredibly simple thing: conscious walking. I know, it sounds basic. But walking with intention, really noticing each step, can reactivate parts of your nervous system that have been dozing off. Start by standing tall. Even if your posture isn't what it used to be, aim for a gentle lift in your chest. Swing your arms, just a little. Feel your heel hit the ground first, then roll forward to your toes. It may take focus at first, but every time you walk this way, you're strengthening your balance, your leg muscles, and your coordination. And don't underestimate the power of your ankles. Weak ankles are like unstable foundations. If they're stiff or wobbly, your whole body pays the price. That's why ankle circles, toe lifts, or simply walking on different surfaces, like grass or gravel, can wake them up again. It's the small things that keep your legs alive. And that brings me to a story I'll never forget. A man named Harold, 87 years old, told me once that his legs were giving out on him. He'd been using a walker for 2 years, only going from the bed to the bathroom and back. His doctor told him it was age. But Harold wasn't ready to give up. He started doing little exercises in bed, pointing and flexing his toes, squeezing his thighs, rotating his ankles. Then he progressed to standing with support and eventually walking laps around his living room. A year later, he walked into his granddaughter's wedding, no walker, just a cane and a whole lot of pride. He cried. So did everyone else. Because sometimes, what makes the biggest difference isn't a miracle treatment or a fancy machine, it's your decision to try again. You see, after 65, life can either shrink or expand. And the difference often starts in your legs. If they weaken, you withdraw. If they strengthen, you explore. That's why caring for them isn't vanity, it's survival. It's not about looking younger. It's about living longer, with quality. So here's what I'd love for you to take with you from this conversation: your legs are not a lost cause. They are living, moving, beautiful parts of your story. They've carried you through so much: work, family, adventure, grief, joy. They deserve your attention. They deserve movement, care, and respect. Start small. Walk with purpose. Stand with confidence. Stretch gently in the morning. Sit and rise with strength. And most importantly, believe that change is possible at any age. Because it is. And if you're still listening, still here with me, I want you to do one more thing: thank your legs. Right now. Out loud. I know it sounds silly, but just say it. Thank you, legs. You might be amazed how powerful that feels. Because the truth is, you're still here. You still have time. And whether you're 66, 76, or 96, you can still choose strength, one step at a time. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. What's one thing your legs have helped you do that you're proud of? Share it with us. You might inspire someone else to start walking again. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a message like this. We talk about real things here, things that matter to your health, your freedom, and your joy. You are not your age. You are your spirit, your grit, and your ability to keep moving forward, even if it's slowly. So here's to your legs. Here's to life. And here's to living it fully, from the ground up. Take care of yourself. You're worth it. Every single step of the way. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.